Why do people turn against each other over face? It happened at a dinner table. Not many people, all familiar faces. The atmosphere had been relaxed. Some people were picking up food, some were pouring drinks, some were joking while drinking. One sentence after another. The conversation never stopped. There was one man at the table, someone considered capable in the local area. He had done important things before, had some reputation. Usually, when he spoke, other people gave him space. Most of the time, whatever he said, others would follow along. That night, he was telling a story from the past. His tone was steady, not rushed, and he did not explain too many details. It sounded more like he was repeating a version of events that had already been accepted, and everyone else kept listening. Nobody interrupted him. Before he finished speaking, a younger man suddenly added something from across the table. The voice was not loud. The tone was not aggressive. He only exposed one small detail, just one sentence, short but precise, and in that instant, the atmosphere changed. Someone stopped moving their chopsticks. Someone picked up a glass, then slowly put it down again. Nobody continued speaking. The air itself felt stuck. He paused briefly. His eyes tightened first, then slowly lifted again toward the young man. The expression on his face started changing, not exploding immediately. It tightened first, slowly. His breathing started becoming heavier. The rhythm of his speech also started changing. The words afterward were no longer storytelling. Now he was explaining, adding details, pushing the conversation backward. His tone became harder and harder. His voice grew louder and louder, one sentence after another, pressing outward. But in that moment, nobody touched him. Nobody hurt him. Only one detail had been exposed. The dishes were still on the table. The alcohol was still there. The whole thing could easily have been carried past. Laugh once, change the topic, keep drinking. But he did not let it pass. He grabbed onto that sentence, started repeating what he had said before, started emphasizing things again, started pulling the conversation back repeatedly. Later, I kept replaying that moment. What truly changed was no longer the event itself. It was the state where he could once be accepted automatically that had started loosening. Just before that, he spoke. Others listened. Many things did not require verification. Once he said them, others would naturally receive them. That state had not appeared suddenly. It had been built little by little, through many similar situations. He speaks. Others listen by default. Others believe by default. Others give way to him by default. And that structure did not only exist at this one table, it also existed in many other situations. But once that sentence appeared, the default state started breaking apart. He was no longer simply speaking, and the others were no longer simply listening. People started stopping, started looking at him again. That change did not complete itself instantly, but in that moment it had already started moving in that direction, and if he let that sentence pass, the drinking could continue, the night could continue, but that position, which had once been accepted automatically, would slowly begin loosening, not disappearing immediately, but becoming less and less stable, little by little, and only then did I begin realizing something. The actions afterward were no longer about whether that sentence was right or wrong. They were about stopping something else from continuing to fall. That is why his words became harder and harder. His body became stiffer and stiffer. His tone became sharper and sharper. And only after those actions appeared did the thing that had started loosening slowly become stable again. And if that is true, then what exactly is this thing people call face?